Hey guys, you know, to continue on my rant from earlier and to tell you why people, you know, my annoyance, my annoyance is number one annoyance is that if somebody's not working or don't have a job or whatnot, you know, it's none of people business to look down on somebody because they're not working, because they're not feeding the beast. Okay, and it's by choice. For me, now they wanted me to go back to work. I refused. I refused to feed the beast. Okay, it's a beast system, and when I became a target individual, I started to think clearly for what they are. And before I was asleep, I was just, like everybody else, feeding the beast. But then when you realize it, to kind of step away from your stressors and you look at the situation, you're gonna question yourself why you were doing it in the first place. Because I was asleep. They made you almost like just everybody else. They made me believe owning things is your highest success. When you're really successful, you own things. But in reality, you don't really own anything. You know what I'm saying? You're in debt. You are in debt, and yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, you're in debt, and I'm just brainwashed to believe you own that house. You own that, things. That house, if you stop paying taxes on it, the government will come and put a lien on it, or sell it and take their money and throw you the rest. You know what I'm saying? You don't really own it. So I don't believe. I started to see things for what they are. Anyhow, I started to see things for what they are, and God opened my eyes to, do not fall for the material things of this earth, because that's all what Satan is teaching. Satan is teaching you you're really successful if you're in debt. You are a slave to me. Debts are a slavery. You just don't know it. It's that why, they stop putting shackles on people for slavery, but they created a system to put shackle on yourself without you knowing. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at the video, I was ranting because my brother, I wasn't mad because I'm not working or whatnot. I'm mad a little bit at my brother for him to insinuate or say something telling me like, oh, make this call since you're not working, you have nothing else to do, like that. So that's what kind of made me upset. You understand? It's not the point of me not working, the point of him saying it to me. And he's always, this brother is, I'll tell you a true story. It's not really a made up or anything. He's a college professor, university professor. He teaches, in a university in the South, in Atlanta, Georgia. And he's very good at what he does. But he always have people picking on him because, he have a big heart. And people associate big heart with weakness. They think if a person is really kind and a good person. I'm not saying that about him because he's my brother. I know that's how he is. He shouldn't be in accounting. He shouldn't be in business school teaching, you know, all of that. He should be in like something has to do with social services, psychology, health care. He should be in that. He should not be in accounting. Right, this is his choice. And I know deep inside he's not happy. I know that deep inside he's not happy because a few times told me like, oh, let's start a business. Let's start a business in Canada, open what do you call those things? Transportation business where they pick like handicapped people and stuff like that and take them to their houses or whatnot, or take them to their meetings and stuff like that. He talked about that. He told me, it'd be good for you to run it in Canada because you know Canada and and we're gonna see if we can come up with the money. And he obviously is gonna come up with the money. I'm not working, but anyhow, and he want me to run it, And when I reject and I say I don't want to do a business in Canada, he get upset. He get upset with me, telling me like, I know he's tired of what he does because people treated him. Every university he's gone to is bullshit, BS. People end up treating him horribly and try to make themselves look good, throwing somebody under the bus because you're jealous of that person. My brother get a lot of jealousy. He get a lot of jealousy around him. Okay? Because people who were working with him always jealous of him. And even though he's very, guys, my brother who will go, in a deep ocean for you. He will fight for you. He will do things for you. I'm going to tell you a story. He got an interview to one of his faculty friends. This guy who just graduated, he did his PhD. And he called the dean and department head and he helped him get a job in another university. Because he has no experience, he made sure, to help him out. And he lives in Alabama. My brother lives in Alabama, but he teaches in Atlanta, Georgia, right? He took a day off to go from Alabama to take his friend who's gonna go for the interview in another university in Mississippi. That's 4 hours and a bit going, and 4 hours is 8 hours of his day. That's what he does. Would I go with somebody out of town 4 hours for interview who's, what I'm saying? It just doesn't, he's like that. He stepped out of his way to do things for people. And people associate that with weakness. People, especially the Western culture, they think of somebody who does that is weak. You know what I'm saying? They think he's somebody to step on. You know what I'm saying? So he's like that. He's a good person, right? So that's why I didn't go off on him today. When he told me, you have nothing better to do, make these calls, and it's like you're not working, things like that. And I don't want to really take my rage. I don't want to take my rage and anger toward him because I know he doesn't mean it that way. Because he's always distracted, okay? He's always distracted. Working 24/7, he working hard at the university. He drive 2 hours each way to go from Alabama to Atlanta, Georgia to teach. And then on his spare of time, guess what he does? He's driving Uber. He's university professor. okay? Driving an Uber, on, which is no shame on working. It's an honest day, you know. It's an honest, you know, day to go and earn a dollar or whatever. But it shouldn't be. He shouldn't be always trying to push himself so hard like that, you know? Chasing the dollar. And I know he got annoyed when so many times he's always trying to get me to go back to work, and I'm like, no. You know why I'm refusing to go back to work? Because these people have done all of these things to annoy me, and then out of convenience now they feel like I should be going back to work, you know, because they feel like I suffered enough. You understand? And the mistake these people do or did and continue to do is play me. You know, I hate when people play me. You know, don't play me. Okay? When you play me, I would do the opposite what you want me to do. You understand? When you trying to control me, trying to tell me what I should be doing or what I should not be doing, I would do the opposite. Completely opposite. You understand? If they would have left me alone when I told them to leave me alone, I would have went back to work. You understand? But then when they continue to attack me, I just thought about it. If it were for me to go and get a job, man, I'd be stressed. So God is with me today when he says, do not worry about material things. Do not worry about material things. If you look at the video, look at the comment section. You know? It wasn't God, it was Jesus, you know, talking to me. Anyhow, telling me, you know, not to worry. And telling me not to worry about material things, focus what's coming, you know, about heaven. Okay, so now I want to talk about owning things. Did you know that? True story, guys. What I'm going to tell you is a true story. Do you know that God is going to, when you enter heaven, God will build you a house in heaven based on how well you did in life. If you're a really good person, you've gone beyond, above and beyond, and to help people. You're serving, you're not self-serving, you're serving others. You've done a lot of good deeds in life. You understand? God will build you a big house in heaven. Did you know that? No, you didn't know that. True story, guys. God will build you a humongous palace in heaven. So people in heaven, they don't all have the same size house. Some people have mansions. Some people have palaces. You know, some people have like, you know, like a whole town. That's one house. These people have done great deed in earth to God, give them all this abundance in heaven. You understand? Honestly, that's a true story, guys. This is what you need to strive to get. Don't worry about this little shack in earth, a little house. Then you pay mortgage on it. You know there is no mortgages in heaven. Do you know that? There are no taxes in heaven. Guess what? There is no jobs. There is no jobs in heaven. You don't have to go to work. Okay? You can pray, you can worship God, whatnot. There is a prayer times in heaven, but there's no job. There's no stressors in heaven. Did you know that? Yeah. True story, guys. You know, this is one-on-one. What I'm telling you is 100% accurate. So do not worry about material things. Do not worry about what Satan have set up here on earth to get you enslaved, to get you working day and night. to get you working day and night to own things you never own. Why would you pay taxes on a, say for example, you pay for a house, you paid off the house, why you still continue to pay house taxes for it? Understand? So I could never understand that. I could never really wrap my head around paying taxes for something you own. If I own it, why I have to pay taxes for it? You understand? That's Satan, guys. Okay? That's Satan. Satan is getting you to believe owning things is equate to success, to being very successful. You have done really well in life. So for you to own things, and so that considered success. You understand? I'm not worried about finding a job. I am not worried about all of that, but I was annoyed with my brother more than anything. And I know he has a lot on his plate, so I didn't want to shoot his head out, you know, because he knows when I lose on him, I'm known to lose my on him, you know. I don't want to say the word. Anyhow, I'm known to lose my on him, okay? Because if he rubbed me the wrong way, I lose it. And he got used to dismissing me. He always says, okay, we'll talk later when you calm down, bye, and he hang up, you know? So that's what he does. When I lose it on him, he does that. But I don't want to lose it on him because he has a lot on his plate. And I know he didn't mean it. I'm not gonna lash on somebody who giving me their honest opinion. But the other thing. The other thing is I didn't ask for his opinion. You don't have to give me something I did not ask for. Okay? That's the point. That's why I was annoyed earlier. Now I calm down. I ranted all day long about this, you know? You know what? When the enemy does it to me, it doesn't get me in this angry tone. But when the family does it to me, it pisses me off because it's like family, you understand? So I tend to care less about I tend to care less about the enemy. Care more with my family. But then they know me. I don't want to lose my, on him. Anyhow, that's all, guys. Do for al-akhirah. That means do for afterlife. Do not worry about this life. This life is temporary. You know what I'm saying? It's not forever. What you guys dealing with now, target individual, this is temporary. But what these people gonna get is forever. You understand?